Hello, welcome to the bonus episode of Keys to AWS Optimization with two of my friends, Aaron and Alee, joining me to talk about FinOps-X 2023. Do I have some swag? Some swag from hats. I got about 5 hats. Got a mug. I got a nice sticker, FinOps-X. Oh, we're wearing the branding. And the best part is my creepy fox that now lives in the background. Because of the blue light, his eyes are somewhat glaring, so we'll see if he stays there. But yes, all right, let's go into it. So welcome everyone to the Keys to AWS Optimization, the show where we share stories, concepts, and solutions to help you unlock your spend at AWS. My name is Steph. I'm a senior solution architect, and I just passed my practitioner exam, so that's going to be relevant to today's conversation. Alee and Aaron, do you want to give everyone a brief summary and remind everyone who you guys are?
Yeah, sure. Alee, please go first.
Okay, so hey everyone, my name is Alee Whitman. I actually used to be part of Steph's team. So prior to joining my now current company, I was part of the optics team at a large cloud vendor working with Steph. And there I did all things cloud cost optimization enablement, but I also was part of the Kudos cost intelligence or cloud intelligence dashboards, where we were putting tools in the hands of our customers and helping them be able to run efficiently using open source. Now I'm at a large media and entertainment company where I drive all things cloud cost optimization and enablement. And my goal is to make sure my teams have everything they need to run efficiently, whether that be from contracts to optimization insights to understanding just what their spend is.
Excellent. Aaron?
Yeah, and this is an awesome reunion for me as well, because I also worked with Steph and Alee. I joined AWS years ago. I'd never heard of FinOps. I didn't know anything about cloud cost or accounting or anything like that. But what I did know was how to make big data accessible. So very long story short, I created a business within AWS around the cloud intelligence dashboards, piggybacking off of the work that Alee did and Yuri and Timur and others who had created these amazing dashboards to kind of unlock cost and usage information, which again, for me was a completely new concept. But I understood, when you have big data, you need some way to understand it. Otherwise, it's just useless. And we did that for about 3.5 years and had a great time. And then I got a call from a startup I had helped start years ago in the media and entertainment industry called Grey Meta to come back and be the CEO, which is not a question you typically say no to. And now, as somebody who has an AWS bill that I have to manage, that I'm responsible for every month, FinOps has become important in a completely different light, which has been very interesting for me to kind of navigate and figure out. So hopefully we could talk a little bit about that. But I think FinOps-X as a conference helped me shed some light on some things that, weirdly, you'd think, having been the person going to market and building these tools, you would have been obvious, but weren't. So looking forward to talking about that.
Yeah, and so we're going to cover 3 things today. As we're going to cover our favorite talks that we saw. We're also going to cover what we kind of took from the event, what we really enjoyed about it. And then we're also going to we're going to mention things that we thought would have come up more and didn't, and kind of investigate into that. But it's the short today, so it's not the full half an hour. It's probably going to be about 15 minutes to give you a kind of snapshot view before all of the videos come out from FinOps-X. So as a reminder, FinOps-X is a conference created by the FinOps Foundation, which is a not-for-profit connected to the Linux Foundation. I've been a member since it first started, and it's been a big part of my journey in the world of FinOps. And yeah, it was a really good event. We really enjoyed going. And so we wanted to do our kind of feedback and summary for you guys, for those who couldn't go. But as a reminder, all the videos will eventually be on the YouTube channel of the FinOps Foundation. So you can check out all of the breakout sessions that happened and the keynotes. But mentioning that, Alee, do you want to give us your favorite talk that you saw when you were there?
Yeah, definitely. So my favorite talk was probably the why automation is the key to reducing your cloud bill. Before I even dive into that, every talk was amazing. Every chalk talk, every session, even the chats outside of the sessions, everything added value. But the reason I picked this one is I really liked the way that Capital One is forward-looking in the industry right now. I think they are a great thought leader in the FinOps space. And one of the things I appreciate about them is their openness to transparency of how they go about it. They are really focusing on how do they make life easier on their engineers. And David and Brent from Cap One over there really focused on how they created a tooling that automates optimization for their teams. The key thing I like about that is the automation aspect of it, because I think that's something that I would love to bring to my organization as we mature more in our FinOps journey as well too.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll touch probably a bit more about automation, but Cap One been a guest on the show, so always good. And they were watching. I did a Twitch show earlier today, and they were live watching, so they're always willing to learn more as well. They're always hungry for more information, which is great. Aaron, what about you? Oh, sorry.
One more play. I'd say if you guys have not seen, what the Capital One folks have created, they are part of the original founders of Cloud Custodian. Just for anybody who's newer to the FinOps space, go check that out. Amazing open source resources that you can leverage.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of open source as well. And, I think that's what was important for us when the cloud intelligence dashboards get released, that everything be available to everybody, take it, extend it, have a great time with it. So I think my favorite session was actually Alee's. She spoke and, she had a lot of really, really good insight. I think, one of the things that really stuck with me that I can take back now to my organization is how you talk about savings, because you when you're saving money, you have to be saving it from something, right? If I just say, hey, we saved $2,000, right? Well done, right? Okay, but what was it before? For us, our cloud bill, it fluctuates, but it's kind of roughly the same every month, and totally unoptimized. In fact, the first thing I did when I joined was deploy the cloud intelligence dashboards and look at it. And we have no optimization whatsoever, which is fine. We've been in startup mode for a long time, pushing, and this is a challenge I think organizations have, and particularly startups, where they're just trying to push product and they're not focused on this, and they just need to get revenue, and it's not really about profit or shareholder value quite yet. It's mostly about driving revenue. But I think we've kind of transitioned into more of a longer term business, and these things are very important. So from Alee's talk, now I can kind of go back and think, okay, when I report back to the board what we how we saved, what is it that we're optimizing and why, and how is that saving money? What does that mean? What was it before? What would it have been if I didn't act? And how does that impact the business? These are really critical kind of almost semantics that you need to start getting used to talking about within your organization, because otherwise, people are, as time goes on, I think as FinOps becomes more and more knowledgeable, executives, C-levels, people like me, people who FinOps practitioners usually have to report to and prove value to, are going to start getting wise to the fact that you can't just say we saved 50% on our
yeah.
It doesn't mean anything without context. So
yeah.
And then the conversations, like the whole conference was fantastic, and I think seeing you, Steph, again, and you, Alee, again, and folks that I went on this journey with and you guys taught me so much. You'll probably never know how much you taught me, and I think it just felt so good to see you in person and chat about the latest and kind of absorb the energy of the FinOps world. And that's what I really like about this community. It's very open. Like Alee was saying, Capital One, they'll talk about anything. Other massive companies, including other cloud vendors, very open about what they're working on and talking about. And it feels like we're all just kind of here to help each other solve a problem, an issue, address a challenge. And man, we need more of that in this world.
Yeah, I love the event. And I just got to say, I didn't go to any breakout sessions because of time, and also because I mainly went to Chalk Talks because I knew all the breakouts would be recorded. And the Chalk Talks I find like a really good way, especially for me and doing the show. I wanted to have like that conversation with many different customers I could at once. However, when I tell you, I was really upset with myself that I didn't go to Alee's talk, because everybody came up to me afterwards and like, what did you think of Alee's talk? Her talk was the best. And I was like, I actually had a meeting and they were like, you missed it. And I was
it was really good.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
No, it's okay. The key takeaway, don't say the S word, use it in the right context.
Yeah. And it was just like, and I was trying to explain without seeing the talk to someone else what the talk was about. And then I was like, I need to watch the talk. And so I was messaging in the Slack, like, when are the talks getting put on YouTube? Because I need to see Alee's. Like, first time it comes up, I'm going to go there. So with that in mind, I'm going to touch on two things. I'm going to touch on the keynote. So the keynote, both days, they're going to be available as well. And there was so much going on. They're long sessions. So one thing I'm going to call out is HSBC with Natalie. Natalie is in the UK, so I've seen her speak at some of the meetups we have here. And one of the big things was talking about bringing the most value for every dollar you spend on the cloud, and that kind of concept. And that is what FinOps is all about. And some of the stuff that she was talking about was very inspirational, because I think HSBC has had about 4 years in kind of in FinOps. And so that means that they've really got into that run stage, which is really impressive. So if you are looking for inspiration, if you're just starting out in the world of FinOps, I would really recommend checking out her talk, because it is a thing to be inspired by. That said, I do want to shout out all the chalk talks. The EA chalk talk I went to was really good fun. They let me come up and talk a little bit, so I love that. So you'll see on my LinkedIn, there's a picture of me. I
tried to go to that chalk talk, and I got there a little bit late. Oh my goodness, that room was overflowing, and Steph was not even on the agenda. And next thing I know, Steph's up there, so I was peeking in from the door. But Steph, what was your favorite part of that session?
So that was just hearing about. So that one, they broke it down into what's going well, what's not going well, and when should you start FinOps. And so the thing that was interesting was everyone kind of had themes around. Ours were kind of like, what's going well is ability to forecast current workloads. What's not going well is the ability to forecast future workloads. So kind of two different sides of the same coin. And then our when to start was something that me and Alex have spoken about, which is when you onboard new staff, that's when you start FinOps. That's when you start training them. And that was just like one nugget of information that we'd spoken about before. And a couple of people came up to me, bless EA, but these people came up to me on the boat trip that we went on, and they were like, I really liked your chalk talk. And I was like, I didn't give a chalk talk. And I thought that they just, like, I don't know, me and Ali have been mistaken for the same person before. So I wouldn't be surprised if people got confused. And then they were like, no, the thing you said at the chalk talk was really good. So hopefully that helps some people. But yeah, just doing all those was really good to chat to everyone. Okay, so thank you for sharing those. Yeah, as I said, please check out all the YouTube videos when they come online, support those speakers. And the second thing we were going to talk about was generally what we enjoyed the most. We've kind of touched on it, but Aaron, why don't you go first? What was something that you really enjoyed at the event itself?
Oh, well, I mean, like I mentioned before, I think seeing people, I think what I'm noticing is that there's a lot of the same people that are coming, but there are also new people. And as they kind of get incorporated into the group, it's a very inclusive group. And I mean, I couldn't walk across the room. Everybody kept stopping me. I know you, I see you on Steph's show, or thank you for the cloud intelligence dashboards. And I said, don't thank me, thank Alee, thank Yuri, thank Timur. Yuri was there as well. And I think just kind of, you know, okay. Well, so some other things that were very interesting, I think we're talking to other big cloud vendors as well, because, you know, when we were at AWS, we didn't get a whole lot of chance to do that, a little bit, but it was very interesting to kind of hear how they're solving challenges. I think, you know, the whole reason why I think the CIDs were so successful, kudos and all that, was because, you know, the data that gets created by these cloud vendors is complex, and the cloud is complex, and the way it bills is not obvious. And you know, I think people kind of expect a little help. Like when you have a cell phone, the cell phone bill you get is pretty good at kind of breaking down why you're getting the bill that you're getting. And you know, it's really interesting to see how the other cloud vendors are kind of approaching that and starting to understand it. We're watching a massive movement unfold in real time. I mean, this affects everyone. I can't think of a company, a government, you know, private or public entity that isn't impacted by FinOps. And so when you see the executives from HSBC and you see the executives from the cloud companies, and they're all just kind of talking to each other and saying, how can we figure this out? That just gives me the warm feels. I mean, I just really, really appreciate that and love that. And, you know, again, we're just people. We're all people.
We're just people.
We're just humans, like trying to figure this out. There's no magic. There's no grand design. I think we all get to work together on stuff. Oh, okay. And that made me think of one of my other favorite things. That has to be focus. So what focus is a huge opportunity to kind of get this problem I was trying to describe earlier, where all of our cloud providers are giving us lots and lots of big data, and centralize it, make it accessible, make it easier to understand and share, right? Like we can share how we understand and consume this information, and so that we actually get more value from each of the cloud providers. And I think that just as a data nerd, as a big data nerd, I just love the idea of some kind of like, I don't know, open source tool that just takes these different, big data dumps in and outputs a nice normalized metadata file or JSON or something. I'm talking to the focus people here now. If you give me an open source tool to deploy that processes all of this and outputs something normalized, man, I will build dashboards all day long. Build automation all day long.
Aaron, you are a CEO now.
Oh my God.
You should not be building a dashboard anymore.
It's so true. It's so true.
He'll pay someone else to do it, don't worry.
No, it's funny because you say that, because when I joined, I have a couple of different teams of developers, and I sat everybody down and I showed them the dashboard I had already deployed, and I was like, all right, look, we need to use AMD instances. What about savings plans? Why aren't we using intelligent tiering? And they're like, who is this guy? What is going on here?
So I think we need a future talk with Aaron about what a CEO and FinOps should know, now sitting it from the CEO side.
Yes.
The other side.
God. Also, how like starting FinOps at a startup? That's like two. Aaron cooking those 2 days then.
So
but
Steph,
Ali,
can I say mine really quick? I'll be quick. So focus, I'm going to agree with that, just because in my talk I called out actually specifically how that would save me in my organization significant amount of times. One of the key lessons learned was we don't need to reinvent the wheel on everything. Use the foundation and use the power of the foundation and just the mass amount of companies that are represented there. I think it's 48 of the 50 of the top 50 companies are represented in FinOps, in 9 of the top 10. So huge representation there. Use your community. But I think the most impactful piece to me is people. And I know Aaron touched on this a little bit, but we get so caught up in the day-to-day of what we're working on that I think we forget to step back and say, wow, look at this community and what excites you about what you're doing. I left the FinOps I left X and was just like, I'm so excited to go back to work. I'm so excited to bring what I learned. I'm also so excited to continue to collaborate as part of the TAC, part of hopefully joining Focus and some of the other groups. So I think the key thing is, even if you miss sessions, you can rewatch those, but you can't remake the networking and the connections that you made with the people there, and getting to talk to them about what's important to them and what excites them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, guys. The people bit is the best bit. You'll call the same thing. People, my favorite bit was making this TikTok, which is a terrible link, but I'll put in the show notes, which was the hat in the corner, making people wear that, including these guys, and taking pictures of everyone who were just fans of the show. And I got to kind of engage with those people and hear what they liked about it and do that. But you're right. I was really excited to come back to work. Ironically, I had to go to a customer meeting in Paris, so I didn't go back into my normal work, but I used some of the stuff the conversations that I'd learned and had at X, and used them in the conversations I had with the customer. So straight away kind of feeding it back. So the general thing is, it was a great conference. And if you're not a member of the foundation, but you are working in this world of optimization or FinOps, I do recommend joining if you can, if you're available and your company is allowed to join. It's free most of the time, it's a really good place to learn from other people. To quickly round, what's one thing that you're surprised wasn't there or wasn't spoken about a lot? Aaron, go first.
Yeah, well, my company Gray Meta works on machine learning, so I was looking for more automation and machine learning driven automation, maybe even Gen AI. Scary topic, but I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more of that. There was some, but I think maybe next year we're going to see a huge explosion in that.
Mm-hmm. Ali?
I would say sustainability. I think last year there was a lot more buzz around it. This year, I think it had about the same amount of buzz, so I was expecting to see a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think mine is the technique. Now, like I said, I didn't go into super many breakout sessions, but I think those deep technical talks, so it's like level 300-400, was what a lot of people were talking to me about. And so I'm going to do that here. That's what we've decided to do. So this season in Keys, we're doing a lot of optimization, but I'm going to take that feedback forward. And for future shows, we're going to try and be more technical, do some more demos, deep dives into optimization. So it's going to be a win all around. And if you think that you could do a better talk in terms of like a more technical talk or one of these subjects, don't forget practitioners are the people who speak at these events. So you can always join and submit your talks for 2024. Exciting times. Get me more swag.
Steph, can we do one shout out to the FinOps Foundation, the folks who, all the attendees and all the speakers who put the effort into it. But I also think one hidden figure behind all this, Jessica, JR's wife. I don't know if you saw her around the whole event. She was running like a madwoman, made everything perfect. It went off without a hitch. And I think, we wouldn't have this event. This event doubled in size, more than doubled in size in just a year. And I sat back and I felt like, this is going to be the next reInvent type of event.
Mm-hmm. They're really impressive. It has doubled in size since last year, which is really impressive. And all of us who went last year were like, oh my God, because we feel like we're OG people now. And so they're doing it. But yeah, it's crazy. And I'm going to do one more thing that I just want to mention that exists is this FinOps board game, which if you get, the keys is in. So thank you so much to Rob who made this, and he gave me one. I can't wait to whip out our next offsite that we do with Optics and dive into the Find That Keys card. If anyone sees me and wants me to sign their keys card, okay.
A lot of the people who came up to me said they saw me on Keys. So I think you're making a huge impact with this show, Steph.
Guys, I want to get t-shirts made. Maybe Jeff Barr has pins of his face. I don't know if I could do that, but
ask Alex. Alex can figure it out if there is a way.
Yeah, but Alex, I don't know if I should. Maybe I'll just get the logo. Okay. Yeah. Let me know. Email me if you want a pin of my face.
I do it. Maybe a sticker.
We'll ease into it. We'll get a sticker. Well, the stickers have got my face. I haven't got any on my desk. But yeah, anyways.
I've got stickers still. If anybody
you still got a whole pack.
I have a whole pack.
That's where all my stickers went. If you see Aaron asking for a sticker.
Cloud Intelligence dashboard stickers for anybody who wants any. I got a lot of stickers. I forgot to bring them. I was going to bring them, but I completely forgot. So now I have tons.
Oh, well. Next year, we'll do it all again. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for coming on and doing this with me. It was really fun, like you said, Aaron, seeing everyone. And we'll let us know if you have any thoughts about the event. And we'll see you all on the live show. Thanks, guys.